YouTube, Joseph Crickmore here, and we are reacting to Dr. Pittinger's analysis of my first IX6 runs. Yes, the time has finally come that I would share this with Dr. P. I put it in his Discord for the whole submit your IS runs, and to think, out of all the IS6 things he could have started off with to do IS6 analysis, he picks me. And it makes sense because I'm also an IS newbie. He wants to give me advice. He wants to talk about things. Perfect. And it's, free advertising for my channel regardless. So for any of you that are members of my channel will know when I first did this, that was technically my original goal. Trying out an IS run live on stream, potentially doing it in such a way that I would want Dr. P's analysis. And for people that are somehow confused in the comments of his video about what that means by story challenge, let me make it clear. My Arknight streams are usually story-accurate runs. I'm trying to play the game canonically. Okay? What you see there is not the progress I've made on certain things. No, that's my progress in my challenge run. I have technically beaten way more stages in the game than just Chapter 1. Okay? Just to get that out of the way right up at the front. But without any further ado, let's see what Dr. Pittinger has to say about my IS6 runs. And then also, another disclaimer, this stream was my first exposure to it. I didn't exactly have a lot of time to learn IS6, because I wanted it to be like a fresh experience. 2 weeks later from this stream, I would do an IS run, and I would beat IS6, which was the first ending, which is battling G. I'll put the screenshot up on screen somewhere to prove it to you that I did clear an IS run. But I don't know if he's going to bring that up in this video or not, because I posted it on the post on the Discord after the fact. So with all that out of the way, let's see what he has to say about my IS6 stuff.
Hello guys, Dr. Fantasista Online there, and today this is my first ever review of an IS6 run. So this is from Joseph Crick.
Yay! This is a recent screenshot. Okay. Awesome. That means he definitely at least recorded this video recently, because that is my current subscriber count.
More on YouTube. This is a run that was actually posted already quite a few weeks ago, but since there were a lot of IS5 runs before, I wanted to give the priorities to these runs, but we have started IS6 for a long time already, so I kind of want to start analyzing IS6 runs. Feel free to share some IS2, 3, and 4 runs too. These could be interesting as well. There's like 1 billion IS5 runs on my Discord right now. I don't even know if most of them are worth analyzing, because most of them are like difficulty 18, whatever, and what's the point for a new player to analyze a difficulty 18 run anyway? So this is a run in, I think in very early IS6, I'm not sure. I haven't seen anything about this. So this is, usually I spoil myself.
Me too, Dr. P. Me too. I have not seen much of this video at all either. Just the fact that it is the one that I did is absolutely incredible. Thank you, man. I will take all of the things you say in this video to heart about the future, because I'm still stuck with an E1 Radiant at max level, and I'm kind of on the cusp of trying to clear difficulty 1 and then difficulty 2, so I can get my Radiant to Elite 2. So I will definitely take any constructive criticism. It's very much appreciated.
Myself at least the ending. Yeah, I didn't spoil myself anything, so it's a complete new discovery. So let's see.
We're gonna be leveling up the one, the only Radiant.
Yep, this is the best thing to do when you're starting out IS6. You want to level up Radiant ASAP, particularly if you're a new player. This is one of the best free 6-star you can get in the game. This guy is only level 83, which is pretty new, I would say. Like, 83 is not completely new, obviously, but it's still pretty new. As long as you're not level 120, you're still pretty new.
Thank you, Dr. P. I guess that's true. I'm closing that distance ever so slightly because I'm a player who, if I can get on to play for a day, I will use my sanity and I'll try to grind either materials or stages or originite, whatever. I would love to be able to keep that grind going, but I'm not spending originite on sanity. I did way back when stages were like constantly giving it to me, and the sanity would reset when you hit the level cap, which I should know. I've played plenty of games where that happens early on, so I was like, I may as well take advantage of that. But once I got to a point that it stopped happening frequently, I stopped doing that, of course, so I can only grind as much as I have sanity boosters and the regular sanity. He's about to go over my Elite 2 operators, but considering when this stream was made, this is not my current roster. I might put up screenshots right now of my current present day Elite 2s, because we all have to remember this was recorded when IS6 first came out. It's already been like 3 months since then.
Alright, let me take a look at the operators. E2 Lapland, E2 Project Red, E2 Thorns, E2 Whistlerdale, E2 Amiya, E2 Shu, E2 Senator, E2 Ethan, okay, E2 Chongye, E2 Logos, E2 All Pianist, E2 Necras, E2 Frostleaf for some reason, E2 Myrtle.
Okay, if anyone wants the explanation for the Frostleaf, it's because of my challenge. Story accurate challenge, my canonical challenge. The point here is, my stream stuff is very Story Knights oriented. My niche is clearing the game story accurately. And if anyone knows, there's a tough boss where I kind of need Frostleaf out of necessity. It's called Frost Nova. So it doesn't help that, like, sure, I beat Frost Nova when I played the stage. I have Xe Alter. I managed to burst her down and clear the stage and not worry too much about the stage hazards. Sure, but for my story challenge, I need all the help I can get. And if Frostleaf is present, I have to use her in some capacity. People will say, oh, Frostleaf at E2 is actually worse, or, oh, why would you put resources into Frostleaf? Look, it's a necessity for me. It's also why my streams are not pushing too far into Chapter 2. I don't exactly have all the operators I need to do Chapter 2 story accurately. I don't have the original Exusii, but I also don't have Liskarm either. Anyone who knows my story streams would know that there's already been quite a challenge, which I enjoy. I make it a challenge, not impossible. It's built into my rules of my challenge at this point in time that if I need backup, I will assign backup, but the most reasonable backup, right? Like I would pick Rhodes Island native operators. But I'm not giving myself logos. It makes sense if you watch those streams, okay?
E2 Suzerain, and that's it. After that, it's only E1, so E1 taking pressure. Alright. A lot of pretty good operators, I would say. Like, Lapland is pretty good in IS6. Ethan is Ethan. Logos is still very good. Necras is surprisingly pretty good, I would say, in IS6, at least in lower difficulty. Necras always has this issue in that she's pretty good in lower floor / lower difficulty and pretty useless in higher floor / higher difficulties. In IS6 it's slightly different because there's a lot of items that can buffer summons, but other than that, yeah, she's not very good in higher floors and higher difficulties. But the other operators are fine, like Whistlerdale. I can see him succeeding with this one.
Yes.
Alright, so his Radiant is only E0 level 24, so very, very new.
What's funny is I playtested with that first run, my first blind run through, using Scene.
Scene in IS6, like, it's very funny because Scene was very much meta in IS1.
Oh! I didn't know that. Well, to be fair, IS1 is kind of lost to the sands of time, unless Hypergriff decides, oh yeah, we'll bring back IS1 as like a a commemorative celebration of IS and how far it's come as a game mode. I don't think IS-1 is ever going to return, which is kind of sad for the people that are new to the game and are looking at this and being like, why is this treated as 2 and 3? Where's number 1? I had to learn the hard way that it's kind of just a defunct thing that's lost to time. Yeah, sure, we have IS stuff now, but no IS-1 is kind of sad, even if just for the sake of, like, if you could barely do anything with it. Like, IS-2 recently got updates, didn't it, in the last half a year? 6 months? Where it's more up to date with, like, how later IS stuff is treated? If I remember what the update was. So why not bring back IS-1? Even if it was just, like, a single difficulty.
IS6, yeah, I'm not sure.
And, Radiant's very similar to Scene in terms of being a summoner.
Kinda, but at the same time, kinda not. Like, the main difference is that Radiant is able to attack aerial units with S3.
And I learned that lesson by borrowing Radiant and testing her with other stuff. I don't think I brought in Radiant actually for the run I cleared. Once again, I'll put it on screen. Like, my team that cleared IS6 at all. I don't think Radiant was a part of that team.
And Scene isn't. Which is, by the way, the reason why she was very meta in IS-1, because, well, there weren't a lot of aerial units, but in IS-6, I feel like being able to target aerial units, particularly for the Remnant of Consciousness, is extremely important, because there's like, I don't know, like, it feels like half of the stages there's like one aerial unit or something. I can see a Virtuosa, even at E1, that's very interesting. Wait. His Scene is only Elite 0 level 30. Well, that's interesting.
I have to prioritize balancing. Do I get units for IS, like leveling them up for IS purposes, or leveling them up for just normal play through gameplay?
Makes sense. Usually a lot of units that are decent-ish in IS are absolutely not good in regular game, and vice versa can also be the case. Like, it depends. For example, Angelina is not that great for the regular plays, I would say, but with the IS module she's actually pretty good. There are operators that are very much meta in both, like for example Logos is very much meta in both.
The way you level up Radiant is you play IS6.
Yep.
For the stuff that gets her skills leveled up.
Yep, this is also, by the way, probably one of the reasons why I would actually now consider that if you're a new player, you should probably start with IS6. I know it sounds like a very weird advice and probably a very controversial one, but I can't stress how good it is to be able to get a Radiant at least to max level and promoted. Yes, I know you need to clear some Ascension levels, but honestly, if you get an Exousia Alto friend, it's really not that hard, honestly.
My first objective is to get maybe Radiant to E1.
Yep, definitely. Because this way you unlock her S1, her S2, and her S2 is actually very, very good.
So I have to start with the, regular guided tour.
Which is honestly pretty good, particularly if you're a new player, because Remnant of Consciousness in Higher Ascension tends to be actually quite difficult. The very first time you're gonna enter, like not the very first time, because, well, you're not gonna have any Candle Guest, but the second time you're gonna enter, you're gonna have like 1 or 2 Candle Guest operators, and you're gonna get destroyed by most fights, honestly. Usually you're gonna be able to clear like maybe 1, maybe 2 fights if you are lucky with the fights you get, and also if you're lucky with the relics you get, because some relics can really help you in Remnant of Consciousness. But it's actually pretty difficult to clear a lot of fights in Higher Ascension, while in Lower Ascension it's actually pretty easy. I would say as a new player the best 2-1 are Special and Support. First class, that really depends on you having a lot of 5 stars upgraded. He has Project Red, he has Amiya, he has... who else does he have? I'm not sure, but not a lot of operators. Leader is kind of whatever. Sure, getting back some HP allows you to spend more HP in the Remnant of Consciousness, but still really not that great. Special and Support are, in my opinion, by far the best one. Special is particularly good when you upgrade it, because you get E2 Radiant from the get-go, but even unupgraded is still okay.
I'm trying to remember which squad I ended up picking. I know for a fact, because of how my account is, he's absolutely right. I don't pick first class, even if I were to level up 5 stars. I am well aware of the danger of leveling up 5 stars, unless I'm doing it for a specific purpose. They're not exactly worth the effort, unless you're a special case like Red or Lapland, or a Mia because I needed the level up for story purposes. And leader is whatever. I don't consider it much of a big deal either. So I fully agree with what he's about to say about it's either special or support for the early stuff. So I'm trying to remember what I did in that stream. Because remember, I now have a ton of trial and error experience with IS6. This was back when I had one run before the stream to even get Radiant. Okay? I was still pretty new to this whole game mode because it was the newest one and it had just come out. I don't think many people were clearing IS6 in a single day to get all the way to difficulty 15. You know what I mean? It takes time, especially when a new one comes out. It takes time for people to like adjust and like who's good in this mode. Leveling up and beating the floors, beating the runs, getting at least up to difficulty what's the one with max radiant at least? Isn't it 9?
5 Rhode Island operators may not seem that much, but in lower difficulty, it's actually pretty good.
The way I always play IS, because I played a ton of IS5.
So the thing is, the experience with IS5 and the lamp is miles different from the IS6 one, or even any other IS. The anomaly there is IS5 and the lamp one, just to be clear. This is the anomaly, not IS6.
I'm usually a guy that picks the support squad.
Sure.
Because I like having all the ingots.
Yeah, having a lot of ingots allows you to have a really great start. It's the same reason why special is really good. You have 2 classes that give you a really powerful start, and then you're able to steamroll on basically the first 2 or maybe 3 floors, and hopefully you get enough firepower by clearing these, and you are able to clear floor 5 and 4 with those.
Gain more ingots, shield, or a hot water kettle.
As usual, I would say a hot water kettle is still probably the best one, simply for the extra hope. On the other hand, 8 original ingots is quite a lot. The shield is kind of whatever. I can understand the 8 original ingots as basically a free relic. I would still get the hope though.
I think I'm just gonna go with the ingots.
Sure, that's an option. Alright, what does he want to start
it's
with?
not my first time through, I could do random.
You can, but do you want to?
I would love to be using Radiant right now.
I'm not sure that's the right play, honestly, because E0 level 24 Radiant is not gonna do much, honestly. I feel like he has much better built operators, most notably stuff like Thorns or this kind of stuff. I'm not sure if getting Radiant is a good idea. Let's see.
Let's see what all the fuss is about.
If he really wants Radiant, I assume overcoming a weakness is probably the best one, because you can also get Thorns. Yeah, probably. The thing is, she's not discounted yet, because he hasn't finished the thing about her. Yeah, no, he should probably give up on Radiant at this point. As long as she doesn't have the hope discounted, it's probably not that worth it.
Looking back on this, I was clearly only doing the stream to see what everyone was talking about with Radiant, not realizing it's the maxed out Radiant. This is about to be me having a facepalm moment in the future, because I know now. I didn't at the time. He's about to have like a weird because I know how it looks. I mean, I'm like I said, I'll take all the criticism to heart. As he also said at the beginning, I am still technically a new player. Of course, I wouldn't know the intricacies of just how big of a difference it is between Radiant's skills and leading to my downfall. But this was done way back when. I don't mind taking the piss out of myself at this point, because I have a way better built account now. I think I picked Radiant, and I think I'm about to make myself look like an idiot.
Honestly.
So the goal of my IS6 runs are just going to use Radiant.
I'm all for using Radiant, but she needs to be at least a bit upgraded. E0 level 24 is really, like, it's nothing, honestly. See, that's 6 hope for Radiant, that is only E0 level 24, because she's not upgraded yet, so I would never do that. Let's be honest, I would never do that. I would go for Thorns there. And the spotter, I would recruit a 4-star or a 3-star for sure.
I know she can be better, but this is the whole point. You play the mode, at least you play this one to level her up.
Yes, but you don't need to recruit her to level up, so...
Wait, what? Oh, that's news to me. Oh. Okay, now I completely look like a fool. I was aware that you play IS6 to level up Radiant. I wasn't aware of the fact that you don't need to use her for that. Me and my RPG brain. Too used to RPGs and being like, oh, you have to use this to level them up and everything. Well, I learned my lesson, and that's the point of this video. He's gonna tear into it, so be it.
No, I wouldn't do that, honestly.
Now,
That's a really, really weak start, whatever the other units he decides to choose.
I have no hope for a guard or a medic. So
Yep, that's the main issue.
my pure stream is not as leveled up as others.
It's okay. Even if she's a Yan operator, like, you can still get Perfumer. Probably better there. Perfumer also has some solid heal. Even outside the passive, it's not really the issue there.
And then for my guard...
Alright, who does he want as a guard? Holy shit, there's not a lot of upgraded guards. Like, only Doberman and Frostleaf. This is certainly one of the starts of all time. Yeah, this is definitely why I would have gone for Thorns. Like,
I mean, I know now. Thank you. Yeah. See, that's the thing, though. I didn't know you didn't have to use Radiant to level her up. Okay. What did I do at the time?
this would have been much, much better. I would probably go Doberman, because Doberman with S1 at least has some damage. Yeah, Frostleaf also has the S1, but whenever you E2 her, you lose attack speed, and then the rotation gets all fucked up. Like, Silvergun has made an entire video about this, I'm not gonna explain it here. But yeah, I would go Doberman there. Okay, so it's probably the better idea. Or even Cutter, even if she has like 30 less levels. I would say it's either Doberman or Cutter.
And we're back. And, did I pick Frostleaf? Oh, yup. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. I picked Frostleaf.
Yeah. Alright, E0 Radiant, Perfumer, and Frostleaf. This is one of the teams I have seen people starting with. I mean, among the teams, this is certainly one of them. Nah.
No, you have full reign to criticize me, Dr. P. Go in on me. Go in on me and my lack of knowledge. I was under a misconception at the time. I mean, look, I eventually cleared an IS run in IS6 with Tragodia, not Radiant. I learned my lesson, okay?
I would have started with Thorns like 100% there.
Holding on to vouchers allows you to have...
Conserving vouchers is usually what you want to do, unless in some very different circumstances. For example, if you want to recruit a 4-star, usually I would not conserve the voucher. If you have only one space left and you know you want a specific voucher and the Pathfinder is very far away, and you started with a tactical squad, for example, maybe you don't want to conserve a voucher that is not the tactical squad. For example, if you're playing tactical destruction, you know you want a specialist voucher because you want to, I don't know, like E2 your Ella or something, and you get offered the medic voucher, then maybe you want to use the medic voucher right away if you only have one space left. So there are very specific cases where you don't want to conserve the voucher, but usually in the first 1 or 2 floors, it is very much advised to conserve 90% of the vouchers you're getting, particularly since floor 1 and floor 2 are usually pretty easy. Okay, combat, emergency, rogue, or combat, wishful field rogue, or combat encounter rogue. Probably combat emergency. Like, even if his team sucks, even if his team is horrible, I would probably go for combat emergency. So probably go bottom, and if the emergency is very, very difficult, probably go wishful field. But yeah, I would say combat emergency. Okay, Wakamas is the top one, so it doesn't matter. What's the veteran? Yeah, this one.
Interesting.
Probably can do that, I would say. Yeah, I would say Frostleaf and Radiant can probably do that. Particularly Radiant with the summons, they can probably help tank the big guy, which is the only danger in this fight.
Radiant, I can only use that skill. Frostleaf, I'm picking her second skill. Perfumer. Let's see how I do.
So I would have done the complete opposite. I would have gone bottom and would have used Frostleaf S1 instead. Like S2 is very, very expensive and needs a 50 SP. And in this stage, there are lots of enemies coming, so you don't really have the time to charge your skill, and you would use the skill for what? For the big rats. You can tank the big rats with the Defender Reserve Operator anyway. So yeah, probably would have gone S1 Frostleaf, and actually probably would have gone to the bottom, but alright, let's see.
With my own play time, I'm not exactly getting that good with IS.
Probably mainly due to the start, because honestly, again, this start is very, very weak. You know your start is very weak when your best operator is E1 max level Frostleaf. That's definitely...
I mean, look, there's nothing I can say at this point. You're right. You're right, Dr. P. You're right. I mean, I clearly learned, and especially as time went on, when the mode was out, people started figuring out, oh, there are ways to make IS6 pretty easy. I know now. Remember, this is a me that barely played the mode. I didn't know half of what I know now if I were to play IS6 again. That's kind of the big takeaway here. It's part of the reason I'm still a noob. And I'm not afraid to admit it.
an issue there.
Good spot for a Lord card.
Probably could have been a bit more offensive there, deploying Frostleaf here, for example, to try and snipe the rats, but that's a detail. Because see, the main issue is that she wasn't able to hit anybody. Also, activating this dragon serves absolutely no purpose if he's located there, and you're probably gonna deploy your operators there facing right anyway, so they are not gonna be bothered by the talisman, so it doesn't matter really that much.
Okay, I can...
Here, the best other operators you can deploy are definitely the two range guys, so the sniper and the caster, and also the defender in order to defend from the rat. You can also use the summons for sure, but I feel like the defender is probably gonna have more stats. Yeah, definitely gonna have more stats. Not sure what's the point of perfume in there. Like, you usually deploy medic when you know your operators are gonna get hit, and as you can see, like, literally nobody has gotten hit yet. So probably would have deployed either the caster or the sniper. Usually you would probably want to deploy both in a way that they don't target the statue guys. So something like the sniper here deployed left, and the caster here deployed right with this setup. Alright, the defender is fine.
Oh no.
Sure, that also works, I guess. Preemptively kills some enemies. It's not bad. It's gonna take 1 billion years to kill the two rats, but alright. The Clav specialist. Does he have a 6-star specialist? I can't remember if I've seen one. I think I've seen Mizuki, but I don't think he has upgraded him. Red. Red is the only one that is at least upgraded up to E2, so that's the only E2 operator. Is Red here good? It's decent. It gives some damage, and he needs damage right now because, as you can see, this is a very, very defensive team.
Yeah. Once again, it's also a matter of growing pains. Like I mentioned in the exact stream, how do I balance IS specific characters versus stuff I need for my story stuff? And even, you know, normal gameplay. It's very clear that this is growing pains. There's a reason it's my first IS6 runs, not difficulty 3, which would be me getting Elite 2 Radiant. I'm fully aware of how this all looks. This is, I'm gonna be clowned on this for sure, and, but look, any press is good press. If people want to come to my channel to clown on me for this, all the power to them. I've stopped caring about how people think of me because, it ruins my mental health. So, if you people want to criticize my first IS6 attempts and my stupid reasoning for having to use Radiant, go right ahead. Come at me.
And being defensive is fine for like the first 2 or 3 floors, but first of all, it's really not that advice in the Remnant of Consciousness. And second of all, yes, being defensive is usually the strategy against E, but you still need damage eventually. Yeah, I think red is a good option there. Ethan is also an option for sure. Like, yeah, it didn't even cross my mind, but it's just like Ethan, when I said before, he needs damage. He really doesn't have a lot of damage, and Ethan really doesn't deal that much damage, I would say.
Keep the voucher.
Sure. Serious business and emergency. What does this do again? I can't remember. Is there a second statue, guys? I'm not sure. But in any case, this is probably doable. Like, even if he has to leak 1 or 2 big bobs, which I'm not sure he will do anyway, it's still worth it. Because there's not a lot of enemies. Usually, you want S1 Frostleaf when there are a lot of enemies, like in the previous stage. You could see that a lot of enemies were passing through her. In this case, S2 is actually probably better because there's not a lot of enemies.
Right.
In any case, like, you can still tank and defend with like the Vanguard Reserve. So yeah, probably S2 here would be better to prevent Big Bob from coming closer. At the same time, I'm not sure if he has seen the stage yet, so...
But I'm not going to take a chance on that, so I'm just going to go with the encounter.
No, come on. No. You only have 4 hope. You don't have a lot of good damage dealer. You definitely want to do more fights. You know, that...
Once again, that was a blow to my noob self from the past. I know now that like the entrance to the remnant, the consciousness, there's not exactly many chances to get there, so you kind of have to have as many encounters as possible to build up your vouchers. I didn't know at the time, okay? That was kind of the point. I kind of made this knowing that it would be like the noob experience, and I specifically mentioned in stream, if Dr. Pitanger ever analyzed this one day, dig into me about how I could do better, even though I have definitely beaten IS6 at least once. I don't know if he's going to bring that up in the stream because I put it in the Discord. Or what am I saying? Not the stream. The video. I don't know if his version of my video, like, would he edit in the screenshot I put on the Discord? If he doesn't, then of course I'll have already shown you all on screen. But I know better now. I'm sorry.
To level up and gain more hope. Particularly when this stage, I mean, I don't know if he knows this, but this stage only has 18 enemies. So worst case, you lose like 2 HP, which is honestly a good trade-off for gaining more hope and gaining more vouchers. No, this would have been by far the best idea there. Particularly if the other option is only to get like 1 coin, which is really not ideal. Here, since this and this have been tossed and they turn into Diane Tongbao after, you can replace them. They are basically useless already. These 3 that have been tossed, they are already pretty much Diane Tongbao because their effects are already being used, so you can replace them.
I think I'm gonna exchange this one.
Nope. What you want to do is exchange these.
Once again, I didn't know. So many things that I've done in this stream are basically boiled down to IS6 was new, I didn't have any knowledge going in because I didn't want any knowledge going in, and I didn't know. If that becomes a recurring thing throughout this video, I mean, yeah. It makes sense, because like I still don't quite understand how the coin thing works. Once they're tossed, it's used for a single stage, right? Not for the whole floor? If that's the case... I mean... I kind of made it a point to mention that I'm still relatively new to this. There's not much else I can say.
3, because again, these 3 have been used, so they won't give you any other effect, and they will turn into Diane Tongbao. You can already consider them as Diane Tongbao. Again, Diane Tongbao is literally a Tongbao that says do nothing.
Because it's not one that's been tossed.
Yep, what have been tossed though are these 3.
I don't think so, so I'm just gonna make the exchange. Well, more cases of me fumbling the bag very hard, and me failing is gonna not be a surprise at this point. I'm looking back with the knowledge I know now of IS6 and knowing full well that I had no chance. I had no chance.
Bad idea.
Rogue Trader.
Let's see. Rusted Blade Training. Okay. Vanguard. Definitely not what he wants. And some HP in the Fog Machine. Really not that good.
I don't have a specialist.
Nope. What I would probably get there is the Vanguard, because even if it's only a Vanguard, he wants any operator that can help him at least a bit. And then he would be at 17 ingots. Probably simply invest, honestly. He can pick the Fog Machine, I guess. It can be useful in the Remnant of Consciousness, because slowing the enemies in the Remnant of Consciousness, since you're basically battling against time in these stages, is actually pretty good, I would say. But in this case, it's just a Vanguard voucher, Fog Machine, and invest. Usually.
Right. What did I even pick? I don't remember. It's been a while since I started IS6. That, I'm fully aware now of better things to do, especially for a starting run, that, I feel like I'm almost compelled to make another IS6 stream with taking the advice given to me from Dr. P and applying it to a difficulty 1 to maybe be able to finally, make some headway in that department, Because remember, IS is still a mode to me that requires trial and error. It requires figuring things out. It requires fine-tuning. And for an account that doesn't have everybody, that's kind of an issue.
Usually when you're starting out in IS, you want to invest as fast as possible so you can unlock all the functionalities.
I think I would purchase this just to conserve the voucher.
Yep,
I
exactly.
can only conserve 4 vouchers, but yeah.
Yep. Go ahead.
Just to have it. But I will also go with the Vampire's Bed.
Probably not a good idea. Having more life points allows you to buy more stuff in the Remnant of Consciousness. This is true, but at the same time, there are a lot of events that allows you to recover HP in the Remnant of Consciousness. So I don't think getting more max life points is that worth it. Yeah, sure, there are blockades that you can open only if you have 15 max life points and stuff. Still, investing is so much better at this point in the game, I would say.
And just for good measure, just put 1 in the investment.
Put everything, why only 1? Always enter Sui, even if you don't have any candle guess. You're never gonna get any candle guess at this point in the game. It doesn't matter at all. What you want to do is enter the Remnant of Consciousness just to check the layout. And usually, since you have a lot of HP, you can enter the shops. Hopefully there are at least 1 shop, and you can buy a lot of relics there, or you can buy vouchers, you can buy dongbaos, you can buy this kind of, you can buy this kind of stuff. Again, you can still leave and you can enter the second Remnant of Consciousness that is gonna be basically at the very beginning of floor 2 anyway. But why would you not enter right now? There's no point really. There's basically no chance that you encounter a fighting node at this point anyway. And even if you do, you have other options.
Sure, let's do it.
Alright.
Yep, and then that's just a blank one.
The bloodshed is not gonna be useful at all because again, this is the first time entering. This is also why entering, in my opinion, the Remnant of Consciousness at first can be a very good idea, even if you don't have any candle guest, simply because you're gonna be able to exchange tongboughs. This is pretty good for higher ascension. In lower ascension, it doesn't matter. But in higher ascension, you're gonna have a lot of risk coins that are actually debuffs that you want to remove ASAP. And so if you enter it only starting from the 2nd floor and you haven't entered on the 1st floor, there is a lot of chance that you toss a lot of very bad tongboughs. So you want to enter first, if possible, remove some bad tongboughs, and if you enter the 2nd time on the 2nd floor, there are a lot of chances that you toss less debuff tongboughs. Because again, there's a lot of ways to get other tongboughs in the Remnant of Consciousness. There's the shop, there is the plan or something. There is some events that allow you to do that. There's a lot of stuff. So see, you have a shop there. Shop with 13 HP, extremely good. Still, you want to check what the retreat does, but you're probably gonna want to enter the shop first thing, because the legend nodes can recover you HP, and you can't know know that in advance. So if they recover your HP, but you're at full HP, you're basically wasting a node. So here, the first thing is first check the retrieve, then go to the trade. See, recover life points. So you want to go to the trade first. No.
Okay, well, this was an embarrassing point in my past. Once again, I am... how many times am I going to keep saying this in this singular reaction video? I was new to IS6. The mode itself was new. Like, it was barely, like, I think a day or two old. I don't think there were many, like, videos on YouTube already talking about IS6. Because it takes people time to analyze it and to play it with maxed out accounts. My account was not even level 100. It's still not level 100. It's barely level 90 at this point. I haven't made that much progress. So, people need to remember, the key words here are, this is my first IS6 runs with no prior knowledge. That's the key. If I make stupid mistakes, I make stupid mistakes.
It literally tells you here, look down upon the mortal realm and you shall recover life points. So no, you want to go to the trade first and then retrieve. Again, this is like his second run, so I can't fault him for that for sure. Second trade, okay. This is even worse because he could have gone to the trade, spent some life points, recover the life points with the retrieve, and then unlock the second trade to hopefully get some new stuff. So again, this is before the QOL expansion or whatever you want to call this. Nowadays, if you enter a shop and you exit the shop, you're still gonna know what's in the shop. It's still gonna tell you. Before this QOL expansion, it didn't.
What do we got here?
Absolutely not the first one, for sure. Lose 5 life points, gain 15 Original Ingots. That's usually wasting life points to get Original Ingots is not a good idea. You're gonna get a lot of Original Ingots either by clearing regular stages or by clearing Remnant of Consciousness stages, particularly the second one. And therefore, you don't want to waste your life points to get Original Ingots. You want to use your life points in Remnant of Consciousness shops to get stuff, but not ingots. This is why usually these nodes are pretty bad. I would simply leave there. Like, there's absolutely no point in doing anything.
I mean, I don't think I'm necessarily hurting in the life point department anytime soon. Okay.
Yes, but at the same time, you want to trade those life points in the shop and not in this shit.
I was a fool back then. I didn't know things. I was a blind sheep. I'm looking on it now with the knowledge I know, and I had a feeling once I learned things about IS6, and remember people, this was like the day it came out or whatever. We didn't have the quality of life expansion that we do now. So even then, I'm operating with like 2% of knowledge and 98% my own whim. I know how it looks. I'm fully aware of that. I never anticipated I would care much about IS ever, but look at me now. It's like, sure, Radiant kind of made me care somewhat, but at the same time, I know I'm doing something wrong. If I had played IS6 back then, with the knowledge I know now, I would obviously have made some better choices. But that's the thing about hindsight. That's the way it is with everything.
Event.
I think it's huge. For 5 life points, gain 1 max. Yes, sure.
He's almost at 15. 15 is usually pretty good because there's a lot of blockades at 15 HP. Usually the coins you toss at this point don't matter because you're gonna enter the Remnant of Consciousness in 2 nodes anyway, so... Okay, 3 nodes. Never mind. So it's only gonna matter for this fight and that's it. So yeah, you want to Pathfinder, fight, and Wander into Wonderland. Here the path is pretty clear. Pathfinder, whatever the one, Operation, and Wander into Wonderland. Usually, this option can be done. This is usually an option if you're going for a tactical squad, because a tactical squad, you're gonna start with an E2 operator. Or this is also doable with this squad, but once it's upgraded, because you're gonna start with E2 Radiant, but in both cases, they are not gonna be Candle Guests, even though they are gonna be E2. So usually, you're gonna want to either waste a voucher or use this option. Sure, it depends. If you're drowning under recruitment vouchers and you feel like you don't mind using one of your, I don't know, 3 or 4 specialist vouchers to make your Exusi altar a Candle Guest, even though she's already E2, sure, go ahead.
True.
Otherwise, you can pick this option. In this case, it was absolutely not the right idea. He had 2 vouchers. How much hope does he have? He has 5. 5, and he has a specialist. He can easily buy the red, and then he can buy literally anything he wants, because red will only cost 1, so he will be at 4. And
oh boy. This is just me having one bad decision after another. I don't know what to even say anymore. I feel like a fool. Ugh. However, unlike in other games I've played with this kind of structure, it's not detrimental to fail compared to literal other games with this style. And by that I mean like ones where you kind of have to be optimized from the get-go, or you're doing something and you have to fully be aware of all your options. It's one of the reasons I don't do Pokemon Nuzlocke either. Well, I mean, one of the harder games I'm still playing on the channel is Undertale. Whew, and I could not beat Papyrus in Pacifist. He had to let me go. I'm fully aware of my lack of skill at times.
And so the second voucher, I don't even remember what it is, but yeah, it's Vanguard. So he could buy any Vanguard he wants, even if it's a 6-star. So yeah. Also, usually making your damage dealer your Kindle Guest is by far the utmost priority there. Definitely not medic.
I have minus max HP.
Doesn't matter. The first one is one of the most powerful Tongbaos in the game. Usually doesn't matter at all because most enemies in IS6 deal arse damage anyway.
Imagine Nasty on this stage.
At the same time, if you're recruiting Nasty in IS, you are lost. If you're spending a supporter voucher to recruit something else than Tragodia or Radiant or even Angelina, you are completely lost.
Obviously, I'm going with her second skill.
Why though? Why do you say obviously you're going for a second skill? Usually you want Frostleaf S1. S2 is only in some very specific cases if there is, for example, one or two big enemies that you absolutely want to freeze in place.
Okay, well, I am learning as of this day that Frostleaf doesn't only have a good S2, but a good S1, I guess. Because, like, I'm trying to learn what have I done with Frostleaf, and people keep telling me differing things about you shouldn't have even done this in the first place, or you could probably use her S1 more than her S2, and look, I'm someone who's trying to figure things out, and when you try to figure that out, half the time, you get differing takes. Because Arknights is a game that's not for anyone. It's a game for everyone's playstyle, if that makes sense. Eventually, you'll find a playstyle that fits you, but it's another case of I was not aware of how these things go. It is fully understandable that I had all the wrong ideas.
This is the only reason why you would want S2. In most cases, you actually want S1 Frostleaf.
She's not eligible anyway.
No. Being a Candle Guest doesn't make her ineligible for regular stages. On the contrary, it makes her eligible for Remnant of Consciousness stages. I know by the time I'm making this analysis, he has definitely figured this out, but
Thank you. I'm glad he brought that up. I was about to say, if he wasn't going to bring up the fact that, like, I did clear an IS6 run, and I did learn that lesson. It wasn't at the time. Thank you. Thank you. If he wasn't going to say it, I would. I have learned the lesson.
I'm still saying this for new players who are watching this analysis. So here, probably deploying Frosty here, facing top, and deploying Radiant probably either here or there. You want usually to kill the cake guys as soon as possible. I feel like this is too defensive. You probably want to be more offensive here.
Then I'm going to put Radiant here.
Okay.
Similar to what I did my first run with Scene.
Probably could preemptively snipe this guy and this guy with the caster, and you or even deploying, for example, the octopus on this guy. Good. Yeah, good. All right. All the talismans have been used, so he's not gonna deal any damage, and he's not a threat for Raiden anymore. Okay, still lacking a lot of damage, but let's see. Sniper. Does he have a sniper? Yeah, he has Whistle.
This is going to be one where I'm going to use...
You should probably conserve, simply to recruit Whistle, for sure. Unless he doesn't want to use Whistle for some reason.
Hope away from just getting Whistle.
Precisely. If you're one hope away from being able to recruit Whistle, you should conserve it.
I might pick someone like Platinum or Blue Poison.
BP is okay in IS6. It's honestly an okay operator, simply because the poison applies a DOT, so... It's
funny that my thought process was, oh, I am so close to Whistle, maybe I should save the voucher, but then I was also like, but... Because this was at that time, I didn't know that Candle Guests could be used for both the Remnant of Consciousness and regular stages. I know he already made the distinction that I learned the lesson, but this was a me that had all the wrong impressions about IS6. So many things I had wrong about this.
It's an okay unit to use in Link's event enemies. Platinum, let's be honest, I know a lot of people are shitting Platinum. There's never been an IS where I told myself, oh yeah, Platinum is good. Platinum, is, in my opinion, is the worst 5-star anti-air sniper in the game.
Oh no! It didn't help that she was one of my first... was she one of my first 5 stars? I think she was one of my first 5 stars in the game. She wasn't my first one. Blue Poison, Elysium, Platinum. I mean, I have like a record of the game does have the record of acquisition of when I got them. It's kind of weird because I guess it's a case of just my gacha luck in certain cases, like certain operators over others, and I hope I didn't pick Platinum. Because I'm thinking to myself, I don't think this is a good idea. Please, please, past self, please tell me I picked the conserve the voucher.
Fires. Like, she's worse than Insider, she's worse than Greythroat, and she's worse than Blue Poison, and she's worse than Crusalter. In my opinion, she's the worst one. There are 5 of them, and she's the worst one. I don't know why people keep on inhaling copium when talking about Platinum. Honestly, Blue Poison has the DOT, which makes her interesting. Crusalter is absolutely goated because of the stun, which allows her to deactivate hovering enemies, which is extremely useful in IS3. Greythroat has a pretty good offensive recovery skill, which actually makes her pretty good with that shadow. And Insider has the bullet synergy and also has an offensive recovery skill, so actually an okay option on Shadow as well. While Platinum takes so long to use, has basically no synergy whatsoever, and has actually anti-synergy in IS5, because Platinum doesn't want to attack for a long period of time. Everybody knows what happens in IS5. Not attacking in IS5 doesn't exist. Your operators are constantly attacking at Mach 5, so yeah.
And I think I'm gonna go with Platinum. No! Why did I do that? No! No! I fumbled again! You idiot! What are you thinking? I am a complete and utter fool. What am I doing? I have an encounter, or I have these stages. Look out above, or Guardian of Justice.
Definitely want the Wonder there. Like, it's not even a debate. Even if you don't do the fights, you have 14 HP, you can spend basically everything in the shops to buy like 1 gajillion relics, or you could even buy some vouchers in order to spend them next Pathfinder, this kind of stuff.
So far, Radiant's been doing pretty good. defender there because you'll get a defense.
Doesn't really matter that much. If you had placed Frostleaf here instead, she would have been able to attack this guy from the get-go, so you probably don't need a defender there.
Oh, I could technically put Frostleaf. Oh,
Yes, absolutely.
like this.
Okay.
Yeah, but she's not E2.
I feel like I'm at a point where if people point and laugh, go right ahead. You want to point and laugh? You people want to take the joke out of me? Go right ahead. I'm fully aware of how this looks. I am fully aware that this looks absolutely terrible. And, me failing, in hindsight, is absolutely going to happen. Me failing, in hindsight, was absolutely going to happen. No doubt about it. I don't know what my thought process was. I was live. Did I have anybody in my chat at the time? No. Maybe. I don't remember. The mode was new. I didn't want knowledge going in, because that's technically my excuse in hindsight. It was new. There was nobody at the time who had finished IS6 in a fast enough time that I would think to myself, oh yes, clearly I would want prior knowledge. This was a test. This was a test just to see what the game mode was like. I don't even know if he's going to edit in my screenshot or not to try to give me back credibility, because if not, I will have already done so for the point of this video. I have learned my lesson. I did clear IS6 at least once.
So she doesn't have the range to attack this guy. If she was E2, sure, but it's not the case. It's pretty funny how he keeps on deploying Perfumer. She has been useful in one stage so far. Probably wouldn't want to summon one of Radiant's summon in order to help capturing the Gramophone, at least prevent it from getting captured. Because the Gramophone getting captured can very quickly be an issue. One of the numerous stages where Radiant is an absolute goat, because you can deploy her summon and simply let them capture the Gramophone while dealing damage, while blocking. Absolutely.
Oh. Oh. I pride myself on reading things, unlike the community of EN can't read. But that's a thing that apparently maybe I wouldn't have known if I had just learned how summoners can work. Summoners count as being on that tile to capture the... Oh my god. Oh my god. I look like an utter fool. It's no wonder I'm fumbling so hard.
Absolutely insane. And Gramophone is captured, which is not good. At least Perfume is healing, so it's not that bad. But the thing is, the Gramophone is gonna heal the Shaman. So, yeah, a bit annoying.
Can I get it back?
You can, but you should have prevented it from getting captured in the first place. But it should be alright. You're just gonna take like 1 billion years to get it back and kill the Shaman.
Okay, what happened? What happened? I'm trying to remember what happened. Oh, I leaked? Okay, whatever. Because I was like, I had a ton of HP, I'm fine.
Yeah, it's a shame because it's usually a very easy stage. If we are going from the start again, what you want to do here, since both of these guys are basically defending the Gramophone, what you want to do is at least making sure that these guys that spawn here are not gonna capture it. In order to do that, it's actually pretty easy with this setup. You simply deploy Platinum here, facing left. You wait for her skill to activate, and then you simply protect Platinum by deploying, for example, Radiant Summon or the Vanguard and redeploying it for the defender, whatever, it doesn't matter, as long as you deploy someone in the range of these guys.
Okay.
That you're making sure that Platinum is not going to attack. And in the meantime, you deploy Frostleaf here, you kill this guy, you also deploy someone to help kill this guy, for example, yeah, the caster and Radiant. Usually something like Radiant here deployed left, the caster here deployed bottom or something, and then you simply deploy a summon here, you deploy, as I said, a summon there, whatever, to bait the attack from this guy, and having Platinum deployed there on the left is gonna be enough. There's a much easier way to do that. Once your Radiant is at least E1, you simply, for example, deploy Radiant here. You deploy your summon, like one summon here, and you're done. You're basically done.
Is there no way to like get that back?
Yes, there is, but it takes a long time, and you don't want to get it stolen in the first place. That's why you want to deploy operators near the gramophones to protect it.
Yeah.
And also kill the shamans that steal the gramophones as soon as possible. I hate Screeching Blowgun because it can fuck you up a lot. But alright. Think of Vanilla, probably. Since he lacks damage, I would say probably Vanilla is better. Cantabile is also an option. Texas is also an option, I guess. Fang Alta is also an option. I would say Vanilla is probably the best one. If he wants to keep the voucher, which in this case I probably wouldn't, for example. See, this is one of the cases where I wouldn't keep the voucher because the vouchers you want to keep are operators that you're gonna want to be useful later on. And the thing with a Vanguard is that a Vanguard is useful by producing DP. So even if you get like Fang or Vanilla, she's gonna be useful and she's not gonna need another Vanguard. And she's free, and you don't really care if she's in the Remnant of Consciousness or not. So here is one of the cases where I would probably use the Vanguard voucher right away. Oh, but he skipped the Remnant of Consciousness, I forgot. Yeah, but there's still a chance that he gets a Remnant of Consciousness at the very beginning of floor 3 anyway. So in this case, yeah, we'll still get the Vanguard right away. Hope you get the Remnant of Consciousness at the very beginning of floor 3 and try to get as many good vouchers as possible in the Remnant of Consciousness or in other fights. What I mean by good vouchers are stuff like guards, caster, snipers, you know, anything that gives damage. Again, he doesn't have any damage right now.
So I might just go for a solid Texas.
I wouldn't recall Texas solid. Again, another controversial take. Texas is not that good, honestly. Blade Mace or Broken Wand Advancement. I mean, Blade Mace is damage. And now that he has a Vanguard, it's okay, I guess. It's really a double-edged sword, but I think it's alright in this case.
I don't exactly know which collectible I'm going to choose.
Blade Mace. Advancement, what's the point of advancement? You reduce the DP cost of your Reserve Operator caster. Cool. And that's gonna be helpful for absolutely nothing. So it's either Blade Mace, because it increases the stats, and what I said before, you need damage, so increasing the attack by 20% is good because that's what Blade Mace does, right? It increases all stats besides resistance and attack speed. So attack, HP, defense by 20%, but it also increases the DP cost. And increasing the DP cost is bad, but at the same time you have Texas, so it's not that bad, I guess. But 20% more stats, particularly in lower level Ascension, is gonna be a huge difference. So I'll probably go Blade Mace there.
Well, I don't have either, so I don't know what they do.
You can click on them.
I think I'm gonna go with the minus DP cost.
Why? It's only gonna work.
I feel like an utter fool. I don't know how many times I'm gonna keep saying that. I don't even want to edit a counter. I am just so cringing at myself. I'm cringing at myself. I don't even want to edit in a counter for how many times I'm saying I'm making a fool of myself for all these weird, dumb decisions. Please. Ugh. I don't know. I'll just, this serves as, I guess, like a warning to not do things early in IS6. And if that's the way this is gonna be, so be it.
On the caster on the caster reserve voucher, it's only more HP. Why would you want HP on your caster? Broken One advancement is alright-ish if you're going for example, tactical destruction, and you know your win con is something like Lapland Altar or Golden Glow, but you know they are gonna get clamped by ease attack unless you have something like an enormous amount of healing like Haruka, or you have Broken One advancement. This can work. This is a good collectible, but under the right circumstances and only pretty late in the game. No, in this case it was either Blade Mace or Skip. It's pretty funny because since the beginning these are basically only the bad options, I would say.
I at least made it for one of Radiant's unlockables. Not much else I'm gonna be able to say, because I kind of made this with the knowledge that if I was going to submit this to Dr. Pitanger to analyze in the first place, like, I wanted all that criticism. I wanted the feedback, and I'm still learning to accept that kind of stuff and not have it be seen as personal, because it's really hard to separate yourself from getting criticism and for it to be not an insult. So like I'm fully aware of how this looks. It's just I do look like an utter fool.
I would say.
I at least made it for one of Radiant's unlockables.
Yep. E1 Radiant is huge, very huge. Alright, what's the Remnant? Remnant is pretty far away, but at the same time it's after a safe house, so he only has to pick Feng Shui.
I should toss again.
Probably not, because I don't think you have Tongbaos that care much about being tossed. And again, you only have one fight, so it really doesn't matter that
First
much.
toss on every 4 is free.
Yeah, but you have the Bloodshed Spill, which is the HP reduction. Literally the best one you have. Rerolling them means you could lose this, which could be useful in the next fight. So no, absolutely not reroll there.
Probably gonna go with the encounter.
Feng Shui it's a team comp check. In this stage, you either completely destroy it or you lose 10 HP.
I'm pretty sure I remember this and being like, well, with my team loadout as it is, and even like if I had made a more optimal choice with the squad at the beginning, and I was aware of the fact that I didn't need Radiant in the squad to level her up. Because look, I'm operating under these really weird assumptions that I know now are completely and utterly false. I know they're wrong. I'm glad I made this video as I'm watching this for the first time, because if I'm able to get this up around the same time he got this video up, I want to at least have that feedback be mentioned to people who are watching this video that didn't watch my stream. I am fully aware that I made some dumb choices, but that's part of the point of IS. It's trial and error, and it's also a matter of fact that I had no knowledge of the game mode. It was like on release. This is supposed to be my blind first exposure. Maybe I should change the title of the video to be like, my first exposure to IS6. And you know what? I think I might just do that.
And in the worst case, you lose the run. There really is no in-between. You are either very prepared for this stage because you have picked something like Blue Poison, Ethan, Entelekia, Radiant, so you know, this kind of stuff, or you don't, and you lose.
Next time, and I'll be picking Ethan for sure.
Ooh, very good thinking there.
I think I'm gonna go with the bottom encounter.
The thing is, if you're...
No! I have good ideas, sure, and then I follow up immediately with a dumb idea. The duality of my stream. I'm forward thinking, like, oh yeah, sure, I will definitely go with Ethan next time. But then immediately after, making a dumb choice. Bruh. I'm only realizing that picking maybe the bottom encounter was the wrong play. Especially if I'm nowhere near Remnant of Consciousness and having a path towards it, so I am kinda screwed.
You're not doing the Wander into Wonderland, you are not doing, I would say, at least 40%, maybe even more, of IS6. And that's the issue. Because if you're skipping 40% of the rewards, you are shooting yourself in the foot. Okay, so you can surrender half of your Regiment God. Probably a very bad idea there, because a wooden lamp is only, like, you're gonna get 2 candles, but then it's only for the next entering, and you're not gonna enter this floor, so it's only for the next floor. And then there's also the thing that awards you with coupons, but it's only if you clear all the fights. And since you skipped twice the Wander into Wonderland, there's absolutely no way you can do all the fights. So no, absolutely not. Just refuse this. It wouldn't matter if there wasn't a shop afterwards, but there's a shop afterwards. So you literally just want to skip there. Please skip it. I beg you, skip it.
Why not?
Because you're losing the ingots. Oh well. Okay, Supreme Ring, Sorted Fruits. boost, caster, sniper, medic. So if he had kept the... No, it wouldn't have mattered that. Actually, it would have mattered because he could have... I don't remember what universal change is, but in any case, what he wants here is damage, again. So what he wants there is the vouchers. So the caster and the sniper one. Sniper plus medic. So that's 9 ingots. So if he had 11 more ingots, he would be able to invest more. So yeah, in any case, doesn't change the plan, so pretty lucky. Caster, sniper, invest. Still the best option there.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Wouldn't have mattered that much. Like, squad size may seem good, but again, you started with a team that gives you squad size, and reserve operator vouchers are not supposed to stay there forever. You're supposed to replace them at some point anyway. So no, it's actually not that good right now, and the stat boost is very, very low, as you can see. It's honestly not that good. Even if I had the ingots, I'm not even sure if I would have bought this. Yeah, I hate this one. Statistically, it's good, because if on average enemies either gain plus 35% movement speed or lose 70% movement speed, that means that on average they lose 18% movement speed, which is good. Minus 18% movement speed is good, but the issue is it's very unpredictable, so I really hate this.
Yeah. I don't have enough hope.
Doesn't matter. Just conserve the vouchers.
I don't have enough hope.
Doesn't matter. Conserve the vouchers.
No.
I think he forgot I can conserve the vouchers.
No, I don't think I have enough.
Conserve them. It's okay. Like, Supreme Ring is okay, but you're already at the middle of floor 3, yeah. On average, I think he's gonna get more ingots, but compared to the value of a caster and a sniper voucher right now, nah, fam. Definitely not. Even if he had more ingots, I would have still gotten this and skipped the Supreme Ring.
Are you even gonna be worth it?
No.
Okay, fine. Looks like I have to get the caster voucher.
Okay, good thinking, yeah. What does he have here? Mia, Kiera, 2 pretty good operators, I would say. I don't see any other upgraded operators, so yeah, definitely Mia or Kiera. Mia deals more damage on average, and probably has more synergy if he gets something like Civilized Eterna. I'm not sure. I think Civilized Eterna is not unlocked by default, so it doesn't really matter that much. Yeah, it's the first one or the second
Here we go.
one, doesn't matter.
Mia. Alright. Looks like I finally made a decent play, knowing, like, at this point during the run, I was fully self-aware that I needed damage. Fast. Even with my starting lineup, so of course, picking a Mia was, I think, arguably one of my only good plays at this point, considering all the bad fumbles and mistakes that I've made up to this point.
Sure.
So at least my Mia is solid.
Definitely would have gotten the sniper one. Again, you can conserve the sniper voucher, and also I'm not sure about getting Kiera right away. How many fights are there? I'm not sure, but the boss is gonna pretty much ensure that he levels up to level 4, right? So he's gonna get more hope, and he's gonna be able to use the sniper voucher he could have gotten to get Whistled later. So yeah, I think getting Kiera there was fine, but he should have definitely bought the sniper voucher, that's for sure. Any help that that can help him right now, like, there's a lot of things he still needs, particularly damage again. Probably would keep the caster one. Like, the sniper one is not gonna be that useful at this point. Probably remove the sniper one instead. OA3, again, is pretty much a team comp check. If you have some operators that can deal range damage and that can stay away from the flamethrowers, you're fine. If you don't, you're not fine, which is, again, one of the reasons why Radiant is really good. S2 Radiant, also S3 Radiant, doesn't really matter that much. They both obliterate the stage. What would be the strategy there with his current team? I would say it's probably Frosty here, facing left. How to deal with the dogs and stuff. Deploy Texas? No, because the fireballs is gonna attack her. Probably Platinum, right? Yeah. Deploy Platinum, something like here or here. Doesn't matter. Platinum here, facing left. Frostleaf here, facing left. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Probably put Frostleaf here.
Yeah, good. Okay, I overestimated Frostleaf's damage. Again, this is why you want S1, for sure. You definitely want S1 Frostleaf on most stages.
Texas here.
That's an option, for sure, to kill the dogs faster. How much damage is the burn? Let me see. Okay, nah.
Right, the collectible. I didn't know I'd be dealing with...
Yep, see, this is why I hate this collectible. Now she can't hit anybody. How much HP is he gonna lose there?
Burn.
Like, I'm legit at a point where if I see this collectible, I'm not picking it anymore. It's a debuff. Burn damage. Bye. Oh, never mind. Next one.
Oh my gosh! What?
I assume the run is over there. and there's a second run afterwards. I don't think the fear is gonna help him here. Like, he has no way to deal with these guys. Texas is gonna get insta-clapped. The octopus are basically gonna do nothing.
I'm pretty sure this is where I lost this run. I think it was here. And at the time, I wasn't quite aware of all of these things that made me lose. Now, to be fair, I was under a lot of misconceptions about IS6. And who could blame me? It was day one. It was day one. The event had only been out for like half a day. I was trying to capitalize on the arrival of IS6. Me not being fully prepared for it wasn't exactly a good idea. However, if anything is taken away from this analysis is aside from the stuff I've learned, obviously, is that somehow I gained some respect from people that say, "Oh, that's a cool pick, E2 Frostleaf based," and I'm like, "Sure." You wouldn't know the real reason why, but because of, canonical story reasons. Yeah. And I made this a point already. How am I supposed to balance story operators and IS operators that are like only good in IS? I have a few already in my arsenal that I have to level them up first to make them usable in IS. Okay? I have Tin Man, but he's only really good in IS5. I have Mizuki, but I don't have his module. And, like, that's it. Like, I haven't put much effort into Colonel stuff. I don't have Angelina yet. I have Passenger. He, at the time, was my most recent 6-star. That's not the case anymore, but Passenger's module, and it only is really good with the Relic in IS2. He's not a bad pick if you have the effort. But I am not exactly in the market of playing IS2 yet, if that makes any sense. And let's see, I don't have Rose Montes, so I don't have her module either. Duh. Like, I don't exactly have the picks that are, like, super broken in IS, and I skipped Tragodia. People, it should be known, I skipped Tragodia to save my resources for the Hoshi banner. And even then, I didn't get Haruka. Sometimes my luck escapes me. I got Hoshi Alter, I got Gavi Alter. Out of all the ones I could have gotten, I get her? Sure. And then what else did I get? I got Mlinar on the Ave Mujica banner. I did end up getting Psychico. So, like, my current account is definitely in a better spot. But by no means am I, like, dedicating resources just for IS when I can do that at any point. My priority is Story Knights. My niche. Nope.
Alright, so what he lacked the most there was damage. I kept on saying this from the very, very beginning. And there were a lot of ways to get damage, and he actually skipped them all, basically. Skipped the emergency at the beginning, skipped basically all ways to get into Wonderland, which would allow him to spend his life points to get more vouchers. Skipped basically all ways to get vouchers, and then also skipped the ways to use the vouchers to get more operators. At some point, he had the opportunity, for example, to conserve a voucher, a specialist voucher, and then use it to get Project Red. He decided to make the medic reserve operator Candle Guess instead, which was okay. So yeah, for example, Project Red here would have been awesome. Like, you could deploy Project Red to deal some damage to the flamethrowers. Very good. And yeah, overall, skipping most vouchers, skipping the ways to E2 the operators, very, very unfortunate. Well, let's see the second run now. Also, the choices in collectibles. Definitely, this was not ideal. Blade Mace would have been much, much better.
I mean, I know now, clearly. I have no way of knowing, though, if he's going to put it in the video. I keep stressing throughout this video. I did beat IS6. This was a testing ground. I learned from my mistakes. Let it be known, people, this was my first exposure to the mode.
Yeah. And also starting with Radiant, like Frostleaf Radiant Perfumer? Like, are you kidding me? I want to see the second second start. There's a lot of starts here that are pretty fine, like Thorns. I know a lot of people will say they disagree with the starts start Thorns, because Thorns is one of these units that absolutely wants his E2 in order to use his 3. That's absolutely true, but at the same time, remember this is difficulty level 0. Also, he's using the Delta module. That's very interesting. I assume in low level IS this is probably very great because enemies have very low HP, so flat damage like this is pretty good. Starting Lapland is also pretty good. Starting Wizarda is pretty good. Starting Logos is probably pretty good. Starting Chongyue could be interesting. Starting Necras is actually very, very good. I have started with Necras lately. I've started experimenting with a lot of stuff like Necras, Entelekia. In my opinion, an Entelekia start is actually extremely powerful, and Necras is very similar to this actually. The main issue is Necras actually struggles a bit in the Remnant of Consciousness because she can basically do nothing, but in the regular stages she's actually pretty great. Jolie is not banned. The main issue is that in the Remnant of Consciousness there's a lot of stages that you won't be able to do anything to, but...
Oh, that's right! The free maxed out Zole in the... That's right! That's right! See, the weird thing about this now is, as of this point, I do have Zole, right? Like, at the time, I didn't, and so I'm still very new to his archetype and his character build. I mean, Utage, to me, is fine. But, like, I own Zole now, but I don't have him maxed. So, would he have helped me? I have no idea.
Sure.
I can't even get it higher?
No, you need to clear the first boss to do that.
Well, I'm just gonna play this version.
Alright, sure. Starting with training lightning rod, so you get to use your S3 even more often. Has access to a lot of more starting squads.
This is the kind of thing I would do support squad.
Sure.
Guard and caster. Guard and caster. Alrighty, what choices did I make here? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. What choices did I make? I'm trying to remember if I was better at this or not. Oh my. I could immediately just upgrade Zole.
Sure.
Why not? And then caster, maybe click.
That's an option. Like, the argument to pick a 4-star would be that you don't spend hope, so when you level up, you're gonna be at 9, and 9 is enough to actually recruit 2 6-stars, but that's only in the events that he gets 2 vouchers of operators that he can recruit a 6-star of. For example, I don't think he has a 6-star medic. I don't think he has an interesting 6-star Vanguard. I saw Psylocke, I saw Vigil. Probably not what he wants to recruit. There's also supporter, so... yeah, not really. I think Amia or Kiara would have been fine there. It's a very strong starting relic because any skill that has a low cooldown will work very well with this. So that's the case with Jolie, but there's also a lot of other options. Remnant Spring is alright-ish, but I tend to never be able to freeze enemies with this. Like, it's so hard. You need to kill 2 enemies in less than 6 seconds, and they need to be clumped together, and for it to have value, you also need to have other enemies next to it, so it's so hard. Conserving the Vanguard, nice.
I'm gonna forget it.
Usually I don't like the freezing, but it's fine.
Trader.
Alright, what is there here? Yanni's dictionary is completely useless for him. Content Megamus, voucher, caster voucher, iron guard, training, useless. Very bad shop, but usually as long as you haven't upgraded the shops tend to be very bad. Necras, huh. That's interesting.
I mean, I guess it's a collectible. And it's worth getting collectibles.
Not really. As long as you don't have any ammo-based operators.
Didn't even realize you skipped the remnant there. Yes. I definitely was not really in the frame of mind to try too many different things. Like I keep emphasizing, this was day 1 IS6. So if I were to do this again now, first of all, we have the quality of life update that we got, And second of all, I have way more knowledge and more operators than I did then, so things will be different. I don't know if I want to do IS live again and submit it to him again. I don't think I want to do that, but this is at least a good showcase of what did I do wrong, and it's a very good showcase for people who are new to the game, because I'm the newbie of the IS people that submitted a run. I will be that guy. If I have to be, then that's totally fine.
It's really not that great. You could simply keep the ingots in order to get more value from, for example, the Ung Pao that says you have more attack speed depending on how many ingots you have. Alright, Pathfinder, then next Wander into Wonderland, then Emergency, obviously the best path.
I'm gonna go with the top one.
What? Why? Why? By far the best path is Pathfinder, then Wander, then Emergency. Top one is by far the worst option. Also, even if it wasn't the case, like the bottom path is connected to all 4 nodes. Usually it's best to simply pick a path that is connected to as much nodes as possible.
I know that now. I know that now. I didn't know that at the time. Lots of cases of being a noob is, I'm not sure it's helping me exactly.
So you're literally cutting some paths by picking this one. That's weird.
Use that now. Probably Texas, yeah.
Sure.
I'll do this one.
Yeah, sure.
So this
Wait, why didn't he add Texas? Why didn't you add Texas? We.
Oh no! Oh god. I forgot to add Texas. I'm not sure if I realized it at the time that I was like, oh my god, I forgot to add Texas. Well, I am such a fool.
Ian, you had Texas. Simply add her to the team. Oof. Yeah, that will be complicated, not gonna lie. Probably gonna lose some HP there.
From here on, your words are my command.
Come on.
Such violence will not be tolerated.
Yeah, -3. This is why I really wonder why he didn't pick Texas. Alright, Summons is in place.
No! Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the extent of this. And, as a result, this is a run that is, well, no, this entire stream was just basically me, figuring things out and realizing I made a lot of blunders, and I was open to the criticism. Like, because this was at a time period when I still didn't fully understand stuff in IS, because we all must remember my experience with the game mode before this was a ton of IS5 and like 2 runs of IS3 potentially. Well, no, it couldn't have been 2. Okay, I've had experience with the mode, but a lot of failing. I had never beaten an IS run until this one, the one that I keep flashing on screen. I did beat it eventually.
Yep, the boss require at least 2 blocks.
I hate that I have to like prioritize building for just story stuff, or just gameplay, or IS. I can never balance it well.
Just build Ethan, this way you build for IS and story.
I'm gonna do a support squad this time. Probably just gonna go with the kettle this time.
Yep, we'll probably go for the hope in most cases, I would say.
This time I'm gonna go back with this lineup.
Alright, this time recruit a better team, please.
Radiant. Hard. I'm gonna go Lapland.
Okay, it's at least a bit better now. It's still not the best thing to do, honestly. If the Radiant was upgraded and she would cost more hope, then sure. Alright, fight emergency.
I think I'm gonna go serious business.
Yep. Again, when you're looking at the nodes, sure, you can take a look at the map and see if this one is doable or not. And that's a good reflex, but you also need to take a look at the path that is ahead. For example, here, in this case, what is ahead is the emergency, but only if you take the path at the top. So in most cases, the path at the top would be better because you have access to go to either the fight or the emergency. So even if this fight would be a bit more difficult than this one, which is not the case there, it would still be worth it to go for this one.
Yeah.
Alright, La PSTU, sure. Alright, nothing much to say here. Sniper. Alright.
Temporary recruitment, eh?
Here the freestorm eye is an option for sure, but if you want to go for the freestorm eye, then that means you're gonna use a voucher. So in order to get more value from the Pathfinder,
Yeah.
you want to make sure then after this fight, you're getting as many vouchers as possible. There are still, like, I think one fight, so you're gonna get one voucher, and then that means that in the Remnant of Consciousness, you're gonna make sure that you get 3 vouchers somehow or another. So you're gonna want more shops, and you can also get the a voucher in the shop at the end of the floor, and yeah, that's what you want to do. So this is possible, but then you need to very much focus on the vouchers.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Sure.
Oh dear. I think I'm just gonna go to market.
Okay, but why not the emergency though? He can 100% do the emergency. It's not even a debate. He can obviously do the emergency, particularly with the Storm Eye. So yeah, very weird.
Lapland could be here, but she could be here going up.
There's even a better thing you can do is simply put her here. You put her here facing right, and you're already gonna get rid of some of the dogs. See, the issue is that that's a very defensive way to clear the map, because you have deployed all your operators, and there are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 enemies that you can't reach and kill. While if you had deployed Lapland, she would have killed this one. If you had deployed, for example, Storm here facing up, he would have killed this one, this one, this one, and start killing this one. So yeah, in this map, usually you want to be more offensive, because there's a huge chance that he actually leaks some enemies there, because they are all gonna come at the same time. So it's a bit complicated. Maybe if it works in lower difficulty, I'm not sure, but in higher difficulty, that would be very detrimental. Okay, this works here. Still, you definitely want to snipe enemies early.
Coupon. A specialist voucher.
He definitely wants to conserve there.
I don't think so. I'm gonna.
Otherwise, he's not gonna have enough value for the Pathfinder.
Ethan.
You can get Ethan, but you want to conserve them. There's absolutely no reason not to conserve voucher on the first floor. Okay. Nice. Alright, what is there here? Supporter voucher would be very good if he had E2 Radiant. Unfortunately, it's not the case. Support Riot Pirate could be interesting in some cases. Nightlands Pro is really not that great in IS6. So, yeah, kind of a mid shop.
There's no point to using it on Radiant, so
Yep.
I'll conserve this one.
Yep.
Leftmost. Why not?
Alright, see, now you absolutely want these shops. Okay, no voucher there, that's a bit unfortunate. I still am not too sure about the name of the Tongbaos because there's so many.
That's potentially useful.
Not really. 300 is really not that much. This, on the other hand, can be useful, honestly.
I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna go with the book light.
Okay. Okay, this one is
I
pretty
don't know if
good.
I want to risk more of my life points, especially for 3 fog machines.
It's always worth it. Alright, good.
I mean, I asked for this. I submitted it on purpose. I wanted the IS expert to give his expert opinion on this. I knew fully well what I was walking into. And, well, I partially made this with the knowledge that I wanted this to get feedback. Like, I knew this wasn't going to be a perfect run or any kind of successful run or anything. Especially given all the circumstances surrounding this. Do that.
Sniper, okay, so he wants to conserve it, for sure. Yep. And then he wants a last one.
Finally do one of these turmoil maps.
I would go for the left shop there. Absolutely.
Retrieve.
This is Original Gods, it's useless. So see, now the thing is, he's gonna enter the Pathfinder and he only conserves 3 out of 4 vouchers. So he's basically losing the value of one voucher, of one conservation? Anyway, let me see the pathing. Yeah, top 1 to go to Wonder to Wonderland, yes, for sure.
Go this way.
No, he got...
I'm sorry, Pitanger. I'm so sorry. I keep making these stupid choices. I wonder if he's gonna get so frustrated that he's just gonna stop and not, like, get to the end of the stream and realize that I said I'm hoping that he looks at this and gives advice. I'm not even sure if he's gonna get through the rest of this video. And if he doesn't, that is totally understandable.
Oh, this pair thing is gonna be the death of me. Alright, Sniper to E to the Storm Eye, Specialist to get Ethan, Supporter to get... I don't know.
Ethan.
Yep. Virtuosa is not bad. Virtuosa is okay, even at Elite 1, because The necrosis will deal the same damage at Elite 1, so it's alright.
Probably Orchid. Yeah.
Yeah. If he wanted something free, I would have probably gone for the deep color there. This deep color probably looks more juicy than this Orchid, but
No, I'm gonna leave.
why? Okay, why? Like, I really need to understand why. The only reason to keep the vouchers is to use them at Pathfinders. I'm sure he has figured it out since the time he posted this video. But yeah, that's the only reason why you would.
Oh, I absolutely figured it out by then. Trust me. I am fully aware that this was entirely as a result of dumb decisions. Absolute dumb decisions. I am fully aware of this.
You would keep these.
Lost and found.
Probably the kettle since it's useless.
Nah.
What? Why? Again, exchanging the kettle is literally free because the kettle only gives you life point and hope once you get it. But you will not lose the HP and the hope you have gotten from obtaining the kettle if you exchange it.
Oh! Once again, I look like an utter buffoon. Well, once again, I don't exactly have a bunch of knowledge of IS stuff. Once again, how am I supposed to know that, right? You would have to playtest that and trial and error over and over until you learn that. And as someone who doesn't exactly view a lot of IS content regularly, or even to a point where... Because, like, this is not the normal thing I do. I like playing the game, sure, but that's a case of, okay, now I know. I can exchange the kettle after the fact because its effect only works when you get it. See, I'm so used to owning an object in an RPG, and once I lose it permanently, like all of its effects. Like, I'm not used to it being a one-time thing where, oh, I have it, but then it's still in my inventory. Because, if people check out my channel for other gaming stuff after this, they'll realize that my repertoire with games are, very, very wide and varied. Definitely lean RPG heavy, because it's definitely one of my comfort genres. And so I keep having this mindset of the RPG.
It's the same thing as any other item that say give you life point, give you hope, give you a rich ingots. Once you get these relics basically become useless, and you can exchange them at Lost and Found. Absolutely.
Once again, I keep making dumb decisions. Absolute dumb decisions. And there's a reason I'm making this video as soon as possible. Because I'm only now realizing, looking at all of this, that I am an utter fool. If that's the one thing people want to clip from this entire video, so be it. I just didn't know. The gap in knowledge is so great. Oh. As I keep pointing out in this video, I eventually cleared floor 0. I eventually figured it out. Wait, I can...
The wall moved right before your eyes.
Wait,
You're exaggerating. Definitely.
Wait, I can bring them too? Huh?
Yes, of course.
Well, I guess we'll see how this goes.
Oh, you didn't change Ethan's skill. Probably not a good idea. Like, you definitely want S2 Ethan in this case. The only stages where you want S1 are the stages where there are Ling event enemies.
No, not Radiant yet.
Radiant first can absolutely work because her summons can tank with S1.
First, I'm gonna close you up, actually.
Ooh, no, that's really not a good idea because you have literally no DP and enemies are gonna come. Yep.
No.
Expected. Oh, he decided to trigger them all at the same time. With literally no DP to deploy a summon. Okay.
Oh no! Oh no! I'm only now realizing that the back half of that entire video is just me doing cleanup on just stuff for the channel after I was like, okay, I played IS. Whoopee.
How is this gonna go? Probably badly? Okay, never mind. Also, Ethan is slowly dying.
What am I no?
Rip.
How can you do
Alright,
this?
Rainbow, cast a voucher. Probably conserve. There's no reason to recruit a unit there. I think he has enough damage. What the fuck? Why? That's such a non-choice. Like, he has no Vanguard, his team costs a lot to deploy, and
Yep. I don't even know what I was thinking when I made that choice. That was a stupid choice. But like I keep saying, I'm a noob. I gotta learn these things.
he decides to pick Gitano, which is one of the highest cost casters. That's very weird. Oddly enough, I think the second one is pretty good because, again, his team is very expensive and their SP costs are actually quite expensive too, so I think it's alright.
No. Because I at least have a supporter in the squad.
Yeah, but like the supporter you want to deploy is Radiant, who is already pretty free in the first place. So yeah, again, kind of weird decision there. Alright, so since he basically has no useful candle gas, what he wants are the legend nodes there, or the retrieve nodes.
All of them can be used normally, but only the ones that are lit.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna actually go for Ethan's S2 then. We'll see how this goes.
Very badly. Also, when you're a new player, a nice little tech is to check the enemies there. I'm not sure if they appear when it's the first time you're doing the map, but once you have seen it once, you know what version of the map it's gonna be if you simply check on the enemy infos. Oh, he absolutely can do this. Yep, legend, good. The worst one by far. Literally never picked the first option. I chose the first option the first 2 times, and it gave me a gravity-defying machine the first 2 times. So I decided, nope, never again. Return to your roots with no E2 Radiant is painful. I mean, E1. Not sure if this can work. If he deploys Radiant and then immediately after a summon, then maybe, I guess? Yep, this is why you literally never deploy a unit near these trees. And another one got triggered. Oh, this is so over.
Nope.
Alright, and that's the end of his last run in this video. So there's a lot to unpack there. Obviously, one of the main issues is that this was his first IS6 runs. Obviously, he doesn't know the mechanics, he doesn't know about the remnant of consciousness mechanics and stuff, so I can't really fault him for that. What I can fault him for are many other things.
Absolutely. I'm glad that he still pointed out that this was like my first exposure to IS6 and I had no idea what I was doing. Once again, I'm going to keep flashing on screen. I did eventually figure something out. Confusing pathing, picking better starting ops, absolutely. Odd choices in the shops, yep. Odd choices in events, yup. Better choice of skills, better use of some nodes. Yeah. I think that's all exactly what I was looking for. Considering IS is still one of those things where it's like, you can play it at any point, with any characters, as well as the fact that, you know, the game started giving IS-specific modules so that characters can be useful. Once again, though, I don't have most of those options. I'm stuck with what I have because of the way the game's gacha works. I've only been playing the game less than 9 months. Not exactly enough time to be able to build up older operators anyway. But as of this point, I do have the Ave Mujica collab. Like all of those operators. I do have Hoshi Alter. I have Mlinar now. I have Zolay. I have I have more things leveled up. So I'm really hoping potentially for the future I'd be able to, you know, do better, but if he wants my reasoning for most things, I was tired. It was the first exposure to IS6. I'm still a newbie. I didn't want any prior knowledge going in. Picking Radiant was a dumb choice in hindsight because I didn't know how it worked at the time. This was day 1 IS6. Nothing else I can say. But it's all very good things to improve on, absolutely.
Though a lot of the paths, even if we exclude Pathfinders and Remnant of Consciousness, were very weird because usually you want to snipe for fights, emergencies, this kind of stuff, and there are a lot of times where I decided to, for example, not pick an emergency even though he could. So usually you want to snipe for emergency. Emergencies in IS6 are very difficult, most notably on floor, I would say 5, maybe a bit of floor 4 as well, but if you're only on floor 1, 2, and 3, particularly 1 and 2, you absolutely want the emergencies. Like, they are basically free compared to the normal version. So another thing is, what the fuck are these stats? Like, why Frostleaf? Why E0 Radiant? Yeah, these are all weird stats. The best stats you could have done were like Versatile, Thorns, but definitely not E0 Radiant. Like, no, I don't think you want to use Radiant as long as she's not at least E1, because as you could see, that cost him 6 hope every time, only to get something that only has a 1 skill, so yeah, really not ideal. Of course, I can fault him for the bad decisions about some vouchers too, between conserving or not conserving. That's something you learn after playing the game enough, so really can't say anything about this. There were also some weird decisions, most notably in shops. For example, that time he decided to pick a relic that upgrades ammo-based operators, even though he doesn't have any single ammo-based operator, so yeah, it's kind of weird. Some choices of skills I feel were also pretty poor. Like, for example, in a lot of cases, you actually want Frostleaf S1, I feel. S2 is only in some very specific cases where it can actually work, but in most cases you actually want S1, unless you're using her for very advanced stuff, like for example as a pseudo Chaobai for IS5 ending 4 or something. Also a lot of little mistakes here and there, like for example, why not exchanging the kettle in the Lost and Found? Like, this was literally free, there was no reason not to do it. So yeah.
The only reason I didn't do that was because I didn't know. Most of the things in this can be chalked up to I did not know. Very clearly, I did not know. And I think that's it. I'm not sure if he watches the end of it. I don't think he does. But it's very if I do this again, I'm clearly gonna do it with a more optimized mindset of things are different. So it's definitely worth noting. Thank you, Dr. Pitanger, for actually analyzing mine. I thought mine was going to go to the wayside of IS6 stuff, and he was going to look at other people's runs, which are good to look at. I completely did not expect this, because I had also retroactively updated him and told him on the Discord, like, I did eventually clear the bottom floor, and I'm now on difficulty 1. So I don't know. All I can say is, boy, I was such a fool.
Yeah, I would say simply pick better operators, because you have them. You have the better operators. Learn some of the maps and obviously the mechanics. Choose a better pathing, something that will award you with more stuff. Choose some better relics, better tongue bows, better operators, and better skills too. This is very important. And you're probably gonna be fine for the future runs. So this was it for this little analysis, guys. If you like this video, feel free to like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.
And that's pretty much it. Yeah. Overall opinion is absolutely high. I respect this guy a lot for his IS content, period, considering, like, he is that guy in the community that does IS stuff. I respect him a lot for the knowledge he gives people, especially me, because of my lack of IS knowledge, as you can clearly tell. It's kind of a big deal. I treat everything he says in this video as basically me looking back on my past self, realizing I was an utter fool for a lot of the choices I made, and if for nothing else, it was a learning experience. The fact that I even got represented in this video at all is absolutely insane. If my sub count explodes after this, then I have a feeling I know why. Even if it's for people that, you know, want to come to my channel to be like, ha ha ha, you did all this. Sure. So that's it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you liked it. Hit the like button, subscribe, share the video with a friend. Go to Dr. P's channel, Dr. Pitanger's channel, for a bunch of other IS stuff. I will link this exact video in the description as well as his channel, considering he, of course, linked out to me, so I must do so in kind. Check out my Patreon, of course. You should know this if you're a member of my channel. There's a ton of stuff on the Patreon side. And of course, keep your notifications on, because as always, I will see you in the next one.